Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BroPod. My name is Sean, and I'm joined here with Nathan.
Hello.
In today's episode, we will be talking about quarantine, COVID-19, and isolation. You've heard of it. Now, I'd like to start by talking about how it all began for us. Now, me personally, I was one of those guys that thought COVID-19, this is just some lame, Chinese propaganda. It's not going to affect me. What do you think, Nathan? How did it affect you?
I always thought, when it first began that COVID-19 was, like you said, it was just going to be like, just like the common cold and everything. And I felt like, I was going to be invincible or anything. But of course, I don't know. Yeah, I think it goes with everyone that said, we weren't invincible, and like you could see like on the news how a lot of people sadly passed away due to this. And I personally think that when it first began, there were like people our age, there were a lot of memes circulating around the internet.
Yeah, there were memes everywhere. Okay, it's like when I thought of Corona, I thought like Ebola. Like, everybody knew about Ebola, but nobody expected Ebola to come over to Canada. And Ebola never did come over to Canada. But Corona-19, it made its way to Canada.
Yeah.
Just a big difference, yeah.
Yeah, and this was back in the, like, not even back in the, this was like last year, about this time, this was before, the virus itself was still called, the so-called coronavirus. And it was before it was coined the name COVID-19, so a lot of people just called it by its name, the coronavirus. And it all began, and everything was normal over here, but over there in China, like I have relatives over there, and I just heard everything's just locked down, everything's closed, and everything was just chaotic and all. But like over here, me and Sean and I were actually chilling, I guess you could say. Everything was normal.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in Canada was chilling. I mean, another foreign disease, nobody ever expects it, to come to the West, basically. But Corona did. Yeah. Yeah,
it certainly came over, and it definitely got us by surprise. Before our schools actually shut down, people actually they actually bought out all the toilet paper and hand sanitizers, which certainly did shock me, definitely.
Yeah, oh my god, they're just preparing for the apocalypse. Where the Corona comes, they're buying all the shaving cream. They're buying all the toilet paper. Stores are sold out. It's absolute
COVID-19
chaos.
is going to reach Canada. Buy out all the toilet paper and sanitizer. Yes, that makes total sense.
Like, everyone thinks the apocalypse is coming.
Yes, and it was not just those things. It was also masks, because masks were they soon sold out as well. By the time we found out, I actually went down to the store. It was Home Depot, and I checked the mask aisle, and there were like no N95 masks left. And then I checked the health store, and yet again, I also saw there was nothing. There was no more masks in stock. So that kind of shocked me by the amount of how much like this sudden realization of the COVID-19 being among us. And I think it can send
everyone starts doing stuff.
Yeah, it just sends everybody into like a chaos, I guess you could say. It just plunges our society into chaos. Yeah, that's
not just masks, right? Like the sanitation supplies.
Yeah.
The hand sanitizer. Everyone's carrying around hand sanitizer now.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's just some of the things in, like everyday life, like hand sanitizers or toilet paper. And then all of a sudden, the pandemic reaches us, and then everybody is like, trying to like fighting each other over like a bottle of hand sanitizer. It's just it really changed perspectives for us, and like how, and then there's social distancing, something before,
Social distancing.
yeah, social distancing before, the pandemic came to us. It was, something that none of us really did until, until, like I said, the pandemic came to
I know
us.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's social distance because there wasn't a need to social distance, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Of course.
why would you, unless you're like, I don't know, you have some kind of disease, you wouldn't like stay 6 feet away from someone unless
No.
they're like, sick, like with like a common flu or something.
Yeah. Of course. And then I would like to then talk about, how it like how it all began for me. How like actual quarantine began for me. So this actually happened last year. So what happened was I got the email from our school saying that, school shut down and they're going to close down, and to remain vigilant, I guess you could say, on our devices, to listen in on the news, or just keep on the lookout for any emails from our teachers. So the first thought that went to my mind was like, oh my god, we're going to get quarantined. It's going to be so cool. Like, we're going to be at home, and like I get to chill out more. I'm going to be doing
Oh
school at
yeah,
the comfort of my home. Yeah,
I
you
know
get
that
what I mean?
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess yeah, it was just that feeling. And then, word spread. Of course, it spread like wildfire in social media, and like,
As it does. Yeah.
yeah, I was remember I was talking with my friends. Some of them were saying, "Oh my God, guys, look on the news. Schools are closing down now, and we're going to be switching to online learning." And yeah, it was very. Even though with the pandemic among us and all these unfortunate things, I found this to be particularly kind of exciting in a way, like that feeling, that new
Yeah.
feeling.
It's a new thing for sure. Right?
Yeah, switching to online.
No one's ever done it before.
No,
This
no.
is like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's our first experience.
it's our first experience, and looking back at it, I think I was gravely mistaken about how, how I found out about online school. It was certainly was different than I expected to.
Well, how did you expect it? Like, really? I
Well,
mean, I don't know what I expected either, but how did you expect it?
Well, I to be honest, I expected online school to be more of a, you know, it definitely was a little bit easier. This was actually the first time I actually heard about Zoom meetings and Teams and like Microsoft Teams. Before the
Yeah.
pandemic, I never actually heard of it. Like what the heck was Microsoft Teams, or what was Zoom?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really heard of those until after schools closed down, and then the teachers told us to download Zoom or download Teams, and yeah, everything. It was just definitely a big jump, I guess you could say. You could call it a jump, like a change.
It's different. It's totally different.
Yeah,
You know, in person school, you got to wake up, get dressed, drive over there, get driven over there, go to school, sit down for like 8 hours, and like, head back home.
yeah,
And that's
but
it.
then,
But like for online school,
yeah,
you
before
just
online school, you just
roll to bed.
yeah, you just come out of bed, and then brush your teeth, eat breakfast, and then sit down at your desk, and then open up your team meeting or Zoom meeting, whatever it is, and
Yeah.
then you just attend.
You
Yeah,
don't even have to leave your bed. You can just open up your phone,
yeah, and then just
go onto Teams.
yeah,
Your teacher's doing
learn.
attendance. You can
Yeah.
just say, "I'm here, teacher." You know?
Yeah. Like, learn school in the comfort of your own bedroom. Like, for all I know, is all I did was I woke up in the morning, and just ate my breakfast, brushed my teeth, and did everything, and then I just sat in front of the computer and listened to our teachers drone on and about certain things. And for the most part, it was different. Like I said before, it was different. Sitting in your home, in a somewhere that you feel comfortable in listening to your teacher, and the atmosphere, of course, I find is very different compared to that of a school. You're by yourself. You're not sitting with your classmates. You see your classmates in other windows on the team meetings, and
Yeah.
yeah.
If you see them at all, right? Like, I don't know what your experience is, but half the time, the people in my classes, they don't even turn their webcams on, even when the teacher says so.
Yeah,
But I can't really argue because I don't do it either. Because,
no,
I don't know, it just feels weird.
no, I don't turn on my camera as well because sometimes I wake up. My hair does this thing is the thing that when I wake up, my hair actually it's in a weird kind of, it looks weird. It's like
I know what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
one piece of hair is like to the left too much, and then I just don't want to turn on because I look very weird, you could say. Yeah, of course.
It's okay, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
People wake up. Yeah.
yeah,
Just saying.
yeah.
So I'm going to ask the big question, okay?
Okay.
What do you think about online learning? Is it better? Is it worse? How do you feel about it?
Well, that's a very good question. Certainly, there are definitely, in my opinion, there are definitely, the good and the bad in online learning, and I'll start off with the good things, I guess. For me personally, was online. It began during it began when the COVID virus actually reached us, and I think it was good that I didn't have to wake up and go to school, go to school and put on clothing, and then not saying I showed up in in online teams no, with no clothes. No, I put on my hoodie or my jacket, and then go to school. I'm just saying I would stay in my PJs, and it's really comfortable, and then yeah, you get what I mean. And then just stay home in the comfort of your own room, and I feel
Exactly.
yeah, just that feeling is very assuring. But I think sometimes the bad thing, however, for me was the fact that I had to uh, for me it was just the amount of concentration. You see, I did mention that
Concentration.
you're doing everything in the comforts of your own home, and then you're just you begin to lose concentration. I don't know. It was especially difficult
I know
for
what
me.
you're saying. Okay,
Yes.
when you're in school, you're surrounded by people. Everyone's learning, so naturally you gotta learn too. But when
Yeah.
you're at home, you're all by yourself to, basically do whatever you want.
Of course.
Go on your phone, check out Instagram while listening to the Zoom.
Yeah.
Maybe even open up a game on your computer,
Yeah,
play
absolutely.
it or something. Yeah, you can even you know, we've done this a bit, correspond with, people in your classes.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
not cheap, but
completely, I
yeah,
completely agree with that, and it was definitely a really big challenge for me. The course of online school, I would notice that every single day I would, find it harder to pay attention in class, and then sometimes I would have to ask some of my friends in class that oh, what happened, or did the teacher say something? I think I kind of missed it. And
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was that was certainly a really big obstacle, that it was kind of hard, just to pay attention, because you have everything, you have you said, Sean, I completely agree with you that you can open up a video game, or you can listen to music, and you don't have that same feeling of pressure, right, in a
when you're in actual classroom.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I feel that personally I work better under pressure. If there's no pressure, then there's really no kind of challenge, challenge to work towards.
Exactly.
here.
Stress is important. Stress is
Yeah,
important.
stress is important, but too much stress, I think it's you have to have a good healthy balance of stress, right? Not
Yeah,
like
you
not
gotta have
too
stress.
much.
You gotta have healthy ways to deal with it.
Yes.
Is what I think.
Yeah. So I would like to ask you now, Sean. What were some of how did you find quarantine? How did it come out for you?
Okay, so you know me. I'm more of a I'm more of a gamer type. So, I'm on my computer a lot. Online learning, it's a bit more natural for me. I'm on my computer. I know how it works. This stuff, you know, it's not foreign to me, right? Like, have you had this kind of experience?
No, like I completely get like what you're coming from, and yeah, it makes sense. Yes, of
Like,
course.
I can understand why some people would complain about online learning. And I'm thinking most of these people are people that, don't use their computers that much and maybe like just got them for online learning, right? Because,
Yeah.
they're new to
Uh,
it.
yeah, I completely get that. Personally, for me, it took quite a while to get used to it. I don't know about you. It's like from like what you've said, like it sounded like it didn't take you that much to get used to it.
Actually, yeah, I meant it in a different way. It did take a little bit to get used to it, but
Oh,
it wasn't necessarily like, a bad thing. Like, when I have to go to school, I have to wake up, a bit earlier, so I have to get to school and stuff, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
of
for
course.
online learning, I just roll out of bed and then I'm online in like a minute. So
Yeah, that's
in a way, the transition from school to online school is just me waking up later,
yeah,
and
I
I'm not
completely get that.
complaining. Yeah.
Yeah. Now back to me. I would like to say one more challenge that I personally experienced is was probably like in addition to like the big learning curve for me, like the big change to online. There was also this this big concern with my physical health. Actually, before quarantine, I used to, like after school I would usually hit the gym for a quick jog or like
Yeah.
lift some weights. But then when quarantine hit, gyms closed, and and then I wasn't really particularly aware of the things I kept eating, the things I ate, and
Yeah.
yeah, before I knew, I was eating a lot of stuff. I used to eat only seconds, like that's it, like seconds, and that's pretty much it for dinner. But I found myself eating more and more and more, and then it eventually caught up to me to the point where I became lazier as well. In addition to being like I noticed I gained some weight. Like sometimes I tried on some shirts and it would be a little bit tight. There would be less room than like before quarantine. So yeah, that was definitely a big a big obstacle for me, was definitely physical health for me.
Yeah, I'm betting this is actually what happened to most people, right? Because when you're kind of encouraged to stay in the house, right? Because there's a global pandemic out there. The
Yeah.
world's ending. You're supposed to stay indoors, right? You
Yeah.
don't move around as much. You don't go out places. You don't hang out with your friends. You're not allowed to, right?
No,
So
no.
it's kind of less physical activity there.
Yeah, and I forgot, but I forgot there was this place where it says like when you exercise, your body releases this kind of hormone where it's like I forgot
Oh yeah,
the name of
yeah.
it, and
I
then
don't know.
yeah, I
Serotonin,
forgot.
is that it or something? I don't know.
I think it was something along the lines of that. Anyways, it's supposed to make you like it boosts your mood, but then it also shows that stress, on the other hand, it actually releases a hormone called cortisol, and the cortisol is what causes stress. And I think that during quarantine, uh, yeah, I think we all experienced a lot of stress, like especially me. I am with school and then not exercising. I think my mood just like it wasn't up there, if you know what I mean, like up there as in like I wasn't like happy all the time. I was always grumpy, like waking up I was like, oh, I gotta like go online again, and like I just don't want to do work, and then I got
Yeah, I've
lazy.
actually, yeah, I've actually noticed something like that. Like back in the school days, I'd need at least like 8 hours to like wake up in the morning and be like ready for school, like not be sleepy enough that I'll just stay in bed.
Yeah.
But I find myself waking up for these online lessons. I'm just way more tired. I go to sleep earlier because like maybe I'm not getting enough sleep, so I like go to sleep. I get 10 hours of sleep. I wake up in the morning. I'm thinking I'll be perfectly fine, but I always find myself just super tired all the time. And I think it's just because, just laziness from being indoor all day.
Yeah,
Indoors all day,
and yeah, laziness. I definitely got very lazy. I looking back at myself in quarantine and looking at myself before quarantine, there's definitely a very big difference in mood and like how like physically active I was. Like before quarantine, yeah, I was hitting the gym almost every single day after school, and then going for a jog, and I would feel so good like after
yeah.
working out, and yeah, and I would sleep better, and I'll wake up the next morning feeling totally energized. But then quarantine happened, and then I would be grumpy just waking up, and like you said, I thought it was because I was maybe missing some sleep, and then I missed like you said also, I gave myself more sleep time, and like you said, I was that did not help me at all. And also, since the gym was closed, really the only place I could really walk is my backyard, and even then my backyard is kind of small. So
Yeah.
I tried other like alternatives, like not eating, maybe skipping breakfast or skipping lunch, and that didn't help. And I actually read this on a website where it's like, if you don't eat, your body goes into this what they call a survival mode. So it'll
I've heard of that. Yeah.
burn, yeah, it'll burn calories a lot slower, and it retains some of the water in your body. So you're not you're not burning as much. You're actually burning it at a slower kind of rate,
Yeah.
and yeah, and your body is not able to control some emotions. So I guess that kind of contributed to sometimes my grumpiness towards some things like waking up and online school. So yeah, I think I was really harming my body more than I was helping it lose weight and something like that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I don't know. I'm not a dietitian. I don't know anything about that.
No, neither am I, of course. I mean, um, yeah, those were definitely some of the biggest obstacles for me in quarantine, and you know, even yeah. Also, to back up my kind of claim on like my physical health,
Yeah.
my mom never really lets me go out of the like house because I mean she did all the shopping, and she wouldn't let me join her because she's scared I might get COVID, and like
Of
at the
course.
time, and I think that was the height of everybody's fears of COVID. Like everybody heard about it. People have sadly passed away because of it, and
You don't want your
uh,
family to be,
yeah,
getting
that's what
COVID.
my mom thought. So she would be like, Nathan, you stay at home and do online school while I go out and buy groceries. And yeah, I was stuck at home for a long time, and uh, my my sanity didn't help, and it just kind of built up to a point where it just like it didn't really feel like I wasn't really the happiest person around.
I know it's rough.
Yeah,
Have you heard of like, computer screens and like blue light or something?
yeah, blue light
And
and the
like
fact
apparently
that
like makes you depressed. I think I read that somewhere. Have you heard about that?
yeah, blue light, like it's really bad for your first of all, it's really bad for your eyes first of all,
Yeah.
and like right now my eyesight's pretty. It's not that it's not good as it used to be. Like right now, I need glasses to for example, like read books or like read sheet music. Um, yeah, I definitely heard about how blue light, it contributes to to like poor health, poor eye health, and like poor physical health and mental health.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
definitely
wondering
heard
just
about
like
that.
how everyone feels about that, because like everyone has to look at that screen like all day and that blue
Yeah,
light,
yeah,
like besides
yeah,
their phone.
constantly like from Monday to Friday, you're constantly exposed to blue light from your computer screen that it might actually lead to more, like in addition to learning, you might actually be getting you know harm from just like staring at your computer all day, and it, and like with like not able to like exercise, or like for me going to the gym, I think it all builds up, and then it just weighs you down, like a burden.
Yeah, it's multiple things like, the blue light, the poor health, the fitness thing, it just adds up, and it's just a bad situation.
Yeah, and then I guess like for me, I think I just like crumbled under its weight, and yeah, but then I kind of found some ways to um overcome these. For example, like I would try and just try to limit the amount of things like I ate. So maybe go on a diet. I don't know. Try my best not to eat as much as the snacks in my house. That
Yep.
Yeah, over time, of course, it didn't help immediately. Like they say, good things take time. But then, sometimes I would like to like eat some, I don't know, like candy. Like I stopped myself from doing that as well, and yeah, that I just kind of stopped myself from doing that, and I over time it definitely did. The effects of it definitely did show. I was definitely a little bit. My mood was slightly better, and yeah, but like you said, blue light is something we're constantly exposed to in online learning, and without a doubt, I definitely believe that it definitely had some, it definitely would impact some people.
Yeah, it's multiple things. So I was thinking, when do you think this thing is gonna wrap up? So I've been hearing on the news, there's a vaccine out there, but
Yes, the
when is it coming? Like, what does that even mean? There's a vaccine. So there's a cure, right? So apparently that
Yes.
doesn't mean everyone can run around.
No, of course not. I think it's gonna come whenever it is gonna come, and yeah, the government will administer it to everyone, and I think hopefully everything's gonna get back to normal. And personally, I've been outside. I don't know about you, but I hate wearing a mask. It's constantly on your face. I wear glasses. First of all, and
Yeah.
glasses and masks do not go together. I can never stop getting my eyes fogged up. Like when I'm
I
when I'm
know.
talking. Yeah, when I'm talking
Yeah.
to a teacher, for example, I'm like, "Oh, teacher, like how do I do this question?" And then she would show me, and then I'll be breathing, and then that kind of fogs up my eyes, my glasses.
Yeah.
So it gets really annoying after a while. And I don't know about you, my phone has Face ID, and it's very annoying how it doesn't it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah, it
pick up
doesn't
your
track it
face.
because you have the mask.
Yeah, I have the mask on. Yeah, and I also read somewhere, and it's true personally, that masks give your face acne. And right now, my face is like it's like plagued with acne right now. It's also
So
very
is
annoying.
mine. I'm plagued too.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
annoying.
yeah, the masks I can give or take because in a way, the masks hide the acne, but it also like covers the acne. So it's like makeup, I think,
Yeah,
right?
I get it, but then it causes that kind of it causes that, and it becomes really annoying after a while. And
Totally.
also, yeah, sometimes also bring up the idea of masks for me. It's just, are they useful for me? I know they are not completely useful, so that's why social distance as like an extra precaution, if you get what I mean. And then some people like I had a friend who was like, oh, I put on this mask, and I'm Superman with this mask. So like he thought he was invincible, but of
Yeah,
course
it's
he
like he
was.
has the mask. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he thought he was invincible with a mask on. But I think just to be safe, just social distance and put a mask on, like
Yeah,
even though
you
your
have to
eyes
listen to
fog
the
up.
doctors.
Yeah.
Like all the doctors are saying, you gotta wear a mask. You gotta stay 6 feet. I think if we just listened, to the health officials, to WHO, this thing would have been, wrapped up already.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah,
I think some people still don't follow protocol, and then yeah, we're still in the we still find ourselves amidst this pandemic, and it's like over time it does get kind of infuriating. Like you hope that this thing ends soon, but we're still stuck in the pandemic, and it's very yeah, like I said, it's very infuriating.
yeah. When do you think it's gonna come to a close? Like, let's play some bets here. Like, you think in 2 months, 3 months, maybe even next year? What do you think?
Well, I personally read The Economist, and it's a the econ for those of you who do not know what The Economist is. It's actually it's like a economic journal. It's like kind of like the news, I guess. That it just shows you a bunch of things around the world that's happening around the world, and it just says a few things about like I remember read this article in the Economist saying that this man says that the pandemic will end in fall of 2021, and some people will
Yeah.
say, like, who knows? Like, I personally do not know when it's going to officially end, but I hope that it will end soon, because I don't know about you. I personally just want to graduate like normally. Like, I don't want to like graduate in, like, I don't know, like an online meeting. I don't know if that's possible, but you get what I mean. Like, I just want to graduate normally.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, of course, I want to graduate normally. Like that's a fun experience. We're moving out of high school, but
Yeah.
I don't know when this thing's gonna end.
No.
We got people saying it's gonna end, early 2021. People are saying maybe later because like it has to be distributed.
Yeah.
You know,
Um.
cases
Yeah.
are still going up. I don't know. No one can say really.
No. No one. And as of now, everything's kind of, everything is just kind of unknown to me and everyone. And yeah, I really do not know when it's gonna end, but I hope that sometime in the future it's gonna end soon. And yeah, it's just all this quarantine stuff is getting to me, and that yeah, I just hope it ends soon, because like I said, I want to graduate normally, and um, it's just getting all like it's like a bad joke. Like, over time, it
Yeah,
just
it was a
gets.
funny COVID-19. It was a funny meme for like for maybe like a month, but now
Yeah,
it's like
wow.
actually serious.
Yeah, it's actually serious, and everyone has to follow the protocol,
Yeah.
or else we're really never going to get around this. We were never really going to, like, flatten the curve, as they call it.
The curve, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was looking at some COVID statistics yesterday on like, which place has the most cases.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it was the US,
The
United States.
U.S.
Like by a lot. I don't know the specific numbers, but it's like at least 4 times higher than Canada.
Well, here's the thing. Since that's the U.S., it doesn't really concern us, and with the borders closed, I don't think they're really going to get over to us. So I think we're safe for now. But
Oh wait, I'm not like complaining that
oh
the US they're going to kill us. No, I'm just saying
no,
that I think it's interesting how the United States, the COVID-19 didn't originate from the United States. It originated from like China, but yet the U.S. has surpassed them in cases.
yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I personally do not know what's going down there with our cousins down there in the south.
Yeah,
But well, like you said, they surpassed China's numbers. I don't know how many cases, but I hope everyone just like I hope everyone's safe. Like, it's certainly a big like a tough time for all of us, and
yeah,
yeah, we're all put in the ringer at certain points in our life, and I certainly believe that this pandemic is like a ringer, I guess you could call it.
a ringer.
Yeah,
What do
a
you mean by
ringer.
that? Like,
Well, I just there's a saying, we all go through the ringer. Just like it's just saying that we all go through tough times in our life, and
ah,
COVID-19 is just like another hardship, in my opinion. And I think for me, the biggest thing for me is never give up hope. Never let go, and um, yeah, it's just don't give up that kind of feeling of hope, or else like you'll never really like get back that feeling again. So like, have
of
faith.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. And that wraps it up for today's podcast. Thank you all for listening. And my name's Nathan.
And my name's Sean, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.